Well, that's very interesting because it would seem to me, or at least this is how I would think, that you're taking in a lot of these fats, and fats are a very rich source of energy for the body. So I mean, I would think that you wouldn't have. Well, I mean, it's not that you said that you had any issues with hunger. It's just that you said that initially during the transition you weren't hungry at all, or you weren't that hungry. But like once you got past that, were you experiencing like normal levels of hunger, or were you like more hungry than usual, or?
It was, I would say more or less normal, you know? Like it was most like I could have easily started overeating and like stayed on the diet but overeat anyway. You know, for me, like seeing the weight constantly be dropping was like a really strong motivator to just not cheat at all, like not eat something I'm not supposed to eat, or not eat too much of the stuff I am supposed to eat,
right?
Because I wanted to, like, you know, kind of keep that train going. Yeah, so after that first like kind of week or so where I was like going through the hump, and then like the week after that where I was fine but just dealing with suppressed appetite, I eventually got past that, and from that point on it was mostly relatively normal hunger levels. You know, wasn't overeating. Seeing the weight constantly go down day after day was a really good motivator to keep that going. But yeah.
So I mean, this is a great example of kind of understanding the metabolism of the body and using that knowledge to change part of your lifestyle, i.e. your diet, and so this allows you to the ketogenic diet has a lot of benefits that we might go into at a later interview, but just in this case, you know, you get to eat, you know, a pretty good diet, and you're losing weight because you're not, you know, overeating carbs or anything, and you're kind of managing your energy levels, and you're not feeling too hungry or anything, like you're feeling normal hunger levels. And so it really, I mean, a lot of people, when they think of dieting, like they think of like starving themselves for days or something, you know, like it's really not, like that's not the picture that we're seeing here with the ketogenic diet.
No, but to be clear, for that first initial hump, you probably will feel like you're starving yourself, and potentially for, you know, a little bit after that too, although the headaches and irritability and whatever else you might have may not necessarily be there.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that of course, and just going back onto that topic, you really expect that because your body, of course, is going to hold on to all the carbohydrates that it can, because that's the primary fuel source for a lot of us, and a lot of us have been living on, you know, mainly carbohydrates for our whole lives, and so you really don't want to get into those fat stores, because evolutionarily, if you were getting into your fat stores, that meant you didn't have enough to eat, and that, you know, after some amount of time you wouldn't be there anymore.
And that is essentially what you're doing with ketosis. You're kind of putting yourself in the starvation state in a controlled manner for an extended period of time, and like, you know, it's interesting the switch that goes on. I think, like, normally you're eating a bunch of sugar, so if you eat fat too, your energy needs for the day are probably covered by the sugar. So the body will take that fat and just store it, right?
Or even the excess sugar and store it.
The excess sugar too. But the fat is going to go straight to storage, because the body in a sugar-based metabolism will strongly prefer sugar to use as the primary fuel. Fat is a backup. When you do ketosis, you're actually kind of reversing that. So like the little amount of carbs you do eat, that's going to be stored as glycogen, whereas fat is now the preferred fuel source for the body. So you do actually, I think, get your glycogen back, just not in excess, and obviously you're keeping your blood sugar really, really low, and using fat as your main fuel source.
So that's exactly what you want to be doing. Like you said, is just dipping into your fat stores and, you know, switching to a fat-based metabolism as opposed to a sugar. And well, I guess with that, I think we're out of time. Thank you guys for tuning in to Nick's Naturopathic Journal. I'd love to see you next week when we continue talking about ketogenic diets, ketosis, and Ben.
Sure.
Take care.
Take care. Okay.